What is up, everybody? How we doing today? Welcome to another stream with ChapAttack. Actually, I'm just going to light a candle real quick. Today we have Fall Farmhouse from Kentucky Fabled, local company. It's a natural soy wax with braided cotton wick. It's got some nice cinnamon hints on it. Smells like kind of like autumn, little rural autumn smell. Really like it. So get that lid up. There it is. Let's go. Okay. Now, today, got some good feedback from the last stream we did, which was a furniture tier list. So we're going to do another one before heading into some games. So what we're doing today, if you couldn't tell by the title, it's going to be a let's see, kitchen appliance tier list. Now, this is this is game changing, guys. Game changing. Okay. Today, though, we're doing a kitchen appliance tier list. Now, I don't know if y'all know this. I think you do. I'm a bit of a fatty boy, so I like my kitchen appliances. You got to cook if you want to eat as much as I do, because you can't afford to eat out every single day. Okay, so here is a good list of all the stuff that you probably should have in your kitchen to live a healthy life. Okay, so 2 coffee machines here. First one we have is the Keurig. Now, I personally have never owned a Keurig. My grandma has one, and she likes it. But if you're drinking coffee, you better be drinking coffee to drink coffee. Okay, 1 cup at a time just won't do it. Disposable, like every time you get a pack, a pod, you throw it away. That's wasteful. And Bad Pass can attest. I need like a pod or 2 a day to get me going. So this just won't do because I'm buying way too many pods. It's just this but worse. I want to put coffee pot at A because coffee's goated, just like Granny. I want to put the Keurig at D because it's just like a way worse version of a coffee pot. I mean, it's all right, but like honestly, just why? Okay, an air fryer. Air fryers are nice. We've got one. It's actually taken the place of our KitchenAid mixer. But air fryers are kind of a luxury. You don't really have to have one to really, you can use an oven. You can even use a toaster oven. In my experience, it just kind of makes things faster, which is nice. Definitely I can heat up some chicken nuggets in like 7-8 minutes in this thing, where it would take 20-25 minutes in the oven. So that is nice. But I think I'm going to put it at B. It's a little misleading because it doesn't actually fry. If I'm making like French fries, I can certainly put them in the air fryer and they'll be decent. But I think it's a whole lot better to just go ahead and use like an actual deep fryer with like just a pot with some oil on it. I think it's pretty good. I think air fryer's a little misleading. Fries, yeah. So you can make some decent fries in here though. I've had some pretty good stuff. It just seems like you have to cook it for so long to get them crispy. That's the problem. Is like it doesn't get crispy. You don't get that good oil saturation on the end, and that like crisps it up, and like the texture just goes way off. It's pretty whack. Okay, next up is a toaster oven. So a toaster oven, the more that I think about it, is pretty much just the same thing as an air fryer. It's just a small oven that cooks things a little bit faster because it can heat up better. But it takes up more space. And I guess the pull-out practicality of the air fryer is a little bit better. I don't know. I'm going to have to put them both in B tier. I don't think... Yeah, I don't think... I don't think either one of them has a really great advantage over the other one. So I think even's pretty good. Like a plug-in mixer, these are kind of goated if you're like poor and you don't have the money to get like a good stand-up mixer like a KitchenAid or something. And they do surprisingly well. I'm going to put them in A tier. Just because, you know, you can always mix whatever you want with them. Now, it might be a little difficult, but I mean, they're like $20-$30 at Walmart, and you can like start baking with like this, an oven, and a pan. I mean, that's everything you need. So yeah, I think A is good for that. Okay, I think this is a vacuum sealer for like sous vide. I don't sous vide that much, and vacuuming things to keep it fresh is kind of whack. I'm gonna put this at a D with the Keurig, the single cup coffee pots. I think they're mid at best, and it's kind of not worth it. A Panini Press, I think, is a perfect C. Panini Press is like definition of C. Like, it's really nice. Like, when you need it, it's really nice. So like if I'm wanting a panini or if I want a sandwich, I could put it in that Panini Press, get it toasted, get it crispy. So good. But like, honestly, I use this twice a year. It just kind of takes up space. So it's really good, but not good all the time. So next up is a food processor, it looks like. So these can be really handy when making like chutney or like sauces. You never want to get too lost in the sauce. Dude, listen, what are you here for if not the best takes you've ever heard on all of this stuff? I mean, that's what it is. That's just what it is. This is the certified goat takes on all this stuff. I think that's going to be the name of this YouTube video. Certified goat takes on kitchen appliances. Food processor. Not F. I think food processor is almost the same thing as the Panini Press, where they're really nice when you need them, but like, I think the blender has a way bigger advantage while also being able to do like 80% of the things you need to do for a food processor. Just it's pretty much the same. I don't think you get that much of an advantage from a food processor versus a blender. So I think this is gonna be the same thing as C, where it's really nice if you need it, but you don't really got to use it that much. Okay, crock pots are first S, and there's no contest. I mean, I mean the only other thing that comes close is gonna be microwave, because I mean, Mom would make stuff all the time in the crock pot. Like, you just throw a roast in here with a bunch of vegetables and some broth. You set it up to heat while you're gone at work. You come back and you've got a great meal. You know, season everything, just let it simmer. I mean, you cook it for a church potluck. Listen, crock pots for the church potluck are the best thing ever made. You can make the meal in this container and then You got the ones with the little the snap-ons on the side where you lock the lid down, and you just you just pick up the pot that you cooked it in, you take it to the church, you plug it in there, and it keeps it warm. Nothing compares to a crock pot. Crock pot is the definition of an S tier appliance. You can use it for soups, roasts, like dips. Like the list goes on and on for stuff you can use a crock pot for. It's definitely us. I think a microwave is pretty close. Like microwave can do everything. Like even faster than the air fryer. Like yeah, air fryer can make me some chicken nuggets in like 7 or 8 minutes. But if I don't care, if I just need some food, if I need some sustenance, microwave will get me those chicken nuggets in like 3 minutes. I can get me a chicken pot pie that I pop in the microwave for like 3 minutes and we're Gucci. You can get whole banquet meals for the microwave and heat them up in 5 or 6 minutes and you've got a whole meal. Where's the toaster? Dude, honestly, if you have like a toaster oven like this, oh, you can't see it. If you have like a toaster oven like what's on the B tier, that's what we make all of our toast in. We got rid of our toaster. So I think toaster's kind of an F. Because if you have a toaster oven, other stuff can do it better. And even if you have like a stovetop and you have a pan, you can toast bread in a pan. You got me there. You got me there. Yeah. You got me there. What can I say? Okay, stand-up mixer. Stand-up mixer, I think, is the same as these two, but it does the job just a little bit better. Like, I love my stand-up mixer, but like honestly, I only use it if I'm making like bread from scratch or something from scratch, and I really need something solid and like something thick that I'm mixing up. Like I wouldn't use. I would maybe use the hand mixer to start my dough, but once it gets to like the doughy thick part, like you really need a bread hook and a stand-up mixer because it's just way better and it makes it so much easier. You wouldn't have to mix it up by hand and then knead it. I do think it's almost an A, so I'm going to put it at the top of B, but a stand-up mixer just isn't. It's too much money for how often you'll use it unless you bake all the time. Like if you bake all the time, no. I mean, if you bake all the time, it could be an S. I'm going to put it at A. Because it's really good at what it does. But it's just time to place. Okay, blender is the same thing. I think blender's high B, and I'm actually going to keep it there because you can make smoothies. You can even make sauces and stuff in a blender. Oh, dude, a killer. Like, you just roast up some peppers, mix in like a little tomatoes, like sauce it up, give it all roasted together, and then blend it and strain it out. Oh my gosh, what an amazing smoky sauce. But it's the same deal as like all these and like the low A, high and B categories, and even C. It's like you can use them, but some like I'm put low B because air fryer and toaster oven you can use all the time. Blender just kind of is meh. Okay, I've got a hot take about teapots. Personally, I love a teapot. I think personally a teapot is an S tier for me. However, there is nothing that a teapot can do that your regular A tier coffee pot cannot. If I'm making tea and I want some tea, you just don't put any coffee grounds in your coffee pot and it gives you a pot of just boiling water. exactly like the teapot does. I love the aesthetics of a teapot. I love the whistle, like in the winter, like a whistling teapot. You're like, oh, my hot chocolate's ready or my tea's ready. Like I'm gonna go warm up now. But functionally, all you need is the coffee pot. It does the same. So aesthetics, I would give it an S, but for functionality, it's just an F. There's just no way around it. Okay, a waffle iron. I think waffle iron is exactly the same as the C category with the food processor and the Panini Press. Like for what it is amazing. Amazing. A good Belgian waffle, homemade in a press with just a little bit of butter and some maple syrup on top. Oh my God. Get some Mrs. Buttersworth on top. Oh my gosh. But it just, like, you just don't ever make it. You know, it's so much easier to make pancakes. If you make a waffle, you have to break the waffle iron out, set it up, grease it up. And it's like at that, like, just leave it in the the cabinet. Like it's nice, but it's just not that practical for all the time. And then lastly is a scale. Now I think a food scale, I'm going to put it at the top of A, because if you're a fat boy like me, you've got to be watching how much you eat, and a scale is a game changer. Like the minute you get a scale and you start like prepping out your food, measuring everything, you know exactly how many calories you're eating, and that's when you see like the big weight loss gains. Like if you're not watching your weight or watching how many calories you eat, then this is definitely an F, right? Because you just don't need it. But if you're really trying to pay attention to what you're eating, count your macros, get everything squared up, like you've got to have one. You just got to. So this is my tier list. I think this is what I want to go with. Okay. So any complaints? Easton, if you complain, you're getting permabanned. I'm hovered over, ready to do it. Just say something. That's what I thought.
I'm drinking instant coffee again to stimulate my mind.